I'm Ryan Harmon, Senior Sales Engineer here at Solarwinds. Today I'll be taking you through a brief product overview of the Orion Network Performance Monitor. Let's get started. So we'll start out on the home page for the Orion Network Performance Monitor. As you can see, we have all the nodes listed that we've discovered. And as you can see, Orion is vendor agnostic, meaning that it can pull any network equipment as long as it has an IP address and as long as it's SNMP enabled. If you wish to look at those pieces of equipment after Orion's discovered them, simply click on the device name and you will be taken into what we call a node details page. From a node details page, you're going to be able to connect over to the device, either using Telnet or remote desktop. You're going to be able to see average response time and packet loss, CPU and memory. You're going to be able to see average response time and packet loss in a bar graph over time. If we scroll down, we'll see CPU. We see that it's a Cisco 2851. Looks like it's located in my Tulsa NOC. Douglas Kahneman is my contact. Last rebooted November 4th, 2008 at 1:50 p.m. running 12.4 iOS. If I scroll down a little further, I'll see each of the interfaces associated with this device. Now if you click on an interface anywhere in Orion, it takes you into what we call an interface details view, which is basically a summary view of that particular interface. So I'll have the ability to see the min-max average bits per second in and out, the percent utilization, in-out errors and discards. Doesn't look like we have any going on this interface, so that's a good thing. Total bytes transferred, and then min-max average packets in and out. Now let's go back to our home view where we had our list of nodes. Now on this home view, you're probably also noticing the map to the right. So you can mix and match the resources on this page. You could change this up. Maybe you only want a map when you log in, or maybe you only want an all nodes list, or maybe you want to display any of the other 40 additional resources that Orion has right out of the box. You can also do custom HTML. As an example, I went to weatherchannel.com, did a right-click view source, and copied only this one map image and then pasted it into Orion. Literally took me less than 2 minutes to implement this. We have customers that embed their trouble ticket system right inside Orion. We have other customers that watch traffic cameras from their city inside the Orion web console. Anything that has an HTML interface would be able to be embedded into Orion. Now let's talk quickly about the maps. So Orion has the ability to use any JPEG, GIF, or bitmap image as a background image for a map. You then take your nodes and simply drag and drop them onto this image. This image could be a Visio drawing, it could be a digital picture that maybe you've taken from the back of a rack server, it could be a Google Earth drawing. Once you've created this map, you can then nest maps with on maps. So what you're looking at right now is an omniscient view of literally about 20 different maps. So as you can see, I have a bird's eye view of all of my locations. Red telling me that something is down in the United States and requires my attention. I then drill in and see that Austin, Alaska, and California all have locations down. I will then drill into Austin and identify the 2 locations here in the city of Austin that are currently down. I'll drill into this site, and I see that not only is this node down, but an interface on the fast iron is down. Now, this drawing that you're looking at looks very much like a Visio drawing. This was actually created with a separate piece of software called Land Surveyor. Land Surveyor is a topology mapping tool that we offer here at SolarWinds. Basically, it will go out, discover your entire network, show you how everything's connected, and then save it into either a Visio drawing or a JPEG. Once I've identified the problem nodes, I then simply click on that device and I'm drilled back into a node details page so I can get more information on that piece of equipment. So we've covered the home view now. Next, let's hop over to the top 10. This is going to be the view that you're going to visit every morning when you come into the office. So what are your top 10 nodes by response time? Your top 10 interfaces by percent utilization? Your top 10 nodes by CPU and memory? By disk space? And once you've identified a node or an interface with a problem, simply click on that interface or that node and you're right back into the details page. The next view I want to show you is the overview. This is a great view, usually reserved for an operations center or a help desk. Gives you basic green and red of not only your network nodes, but as well as their interfaces. If you guys will watch right here, as I hover over each node, it gives me a live response time, just like I was pinging the device from a command prompt. 132 milliseconds. Probably want to take a look at that device. I click on the node, and I'm drilled right back into a node details page. Now, I know that not everyone's concerned with response times. Maybe you are more concerned with CPU or percent of memory used or bandwidth utilization. You can then refresh, and now as I hover over the nodes, I see memory used and bandwidth consumption. Also, you probably noticed that these change colors. There's a legend at the bottom now showing us what each color signifies. So this darker red looks like it is 81 to 100% memory consumption. So I would probably want to drill into that device. And sure enough, memory is being overused. Orion also has the ability to alert on any of these thresholds that we're monitoring as well. For example, maybe you want to be alerted via email if CPU or memory spikes above 80% on your systems, or bandwidth becomes too high. Now, one of the problems that plagues network performance monitoring solutions is the fact that you're going to spike in certain areas of your network throughout the day, and then you're going to get false positive emails saying that there's a problem when there's truly not. Orion has counteracted this by creating a sustained alert mechanism, where basically it will say, alert me when CPU's at 80%, but not until it's been at 80% for X amount of seconds, minutes, or hours. Orion also has the ability to escalate alerts. So for example, when you spike above a threshold, maybe you want to receive an email, but if you haven't responded after X amount of seconds or minutes, it will then forward it on to another one of your colleagues. Orion also has the ability to capture syslogs. So all of your network equipment can now send their syslogging information into Orion. Orion will then capture, report, and alert on that data. Same thing for your traps and your Windows events. Orion will capture your traps and your Windows events, consolidate them into one location, and then allow you to alert and report on that data. Orion also reports on any other data that we're collecting. For example, maybe you want to run historical reports on CPU and memory or bandwidth consumption. You have the ability to automate these reports. So if you wanted to, for example, take this report and automate it to be emailed to your exec team on the 1st of every month, you could set that up one time in Orion and then basically forget about it. You can also put your own custom links up on the toolbar as well. Here I've put a custom link to Thwack, which is our user forum site. Of SolarWinds' 70,000 customers, over 20,000 are active users of our user forum site called thwack.com. Here on Thwack, you can not only ask questions to other engineers that have been using the software for years, but you have the ability to share content. Maybe you've written a specific script or plugin to Orion that you want to share. Out here, there are basically 227 pages of scripts and plugins that other engineers that have already written that you can download. That concludes our presentation of Orion. I hope you found it informative. Again, I'm Ryan Harmon. Thanks for your time.